Hello and welcome to the Checkmate podcast. I will be your host Elissa Kellan to give you the rundown with the Formula One world, including race weekends, championships, and so much more. Let's kick this episode off with the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix of 2023. Max Verstappen had been the favorite leading up to qualifying, after he had led the way in all practice sessions with record times. However, a drive shaft issue in the second round of qualifying landed him P15 for race day. In the Dutchman's absence, Perez set a 1-minute 28.265-second lap time in Q3 to claim P1 in the race, 0.155 seconds ahead of Charles Leclerc, who was given a 10-place grid penalty after using more than his two allocated control electric units due to an engine issue in Bahrain. Alonso and Aston Martin jumped up to the front row in P2 due to Leclerc's engine penalty, which would place him in P12 on the starting grid. Alonso was followed by the lead Mercedes of Russell and Ferrari's Carlos Sainz, and also his Aston Martin teammate Lance Stroll. A stronger qualifying performance from Alpine saw Esteban Ocon placing 6th in the starting grid and Gasly placing 9th. Both Hamilton and Piastri split the two Frenchmen as Hamilton took P7 on the starting grid and Piastri with 8th. During the actual Grand Prix, Perez managed to overcome an attack from Alonso at the start, a safety car period, and Verstappen's charge to make up for the potential win he lost in 2022. Verstappen progressed from P15 to P2 in rapid time, though ultimately had to accept that Perez was on pole after managing additional driveshaft concerns late in the race after having the same component fail during qualifying. Alonso took the lead from Perez into turn 1 but had to enter a time penalty for lining up outside his grid box, meaning he had to settle for third place. Alonso's rear jack mechanic was later suspected of having touched the car before the penalty had been fully served, the Spaniard receiving another 10-second penalty, dropping him down to P4 before the stewards reversed the call and announced that Alonso's P3 would stand and pushed Russell back to P4. The 2020 Saudi Arabia Grand Prix also saw Alonso become one of the 6th drivers in Formula One to earn 100 podiums. Thank you for tuning into the Checkmate podcast. I've been your host Elissa Kellan with the rundown of the 2023 Saudi Arabia Grand Prix, and I'll hopefully see you next time with another episode.